Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another Salesforce Admin interview preparation session. So I'm back with some interesting admin questions. Let's get started. I'm going to explain answers in very simple ways, so do not get scared of these lengthy questions and complex scenarios. I'm going to make it easy for you. So the first scenario. Melissa, a sales executive who owns XYZ account record, manually provides Daniel, a service executive, with read-write access to this record. Later, a developer creates a sharing rule that allows strategy group to have read-only access to sales executives records. After some time, Daniel becomes member of the strategy group. How will this affect Daniel's access to XYZ account record? So let me break down this question for you. Let's simplify the question first and then jump on the answer. Okay, so there is one account XYZ. Okay, this is the XYZ record, account record, and it's owned by Melissa and she is sales executive. Okay, so Melissa owns this account and Daniel is service executive, and she shares this account manually and provide him read write access. Okay, now Daniel has read write access on this XYZ account record. Okay, now later on a developer creates some sharing rule and allows a group, this is one random group, let's call strategy group, to have read only access to sales executives record, means Melissa's records, because she is sales executive. Okay, now after some time Daniel becomes member of this group. How will this affect Daniel's access to XYZ account? So basically this account is shared with strategy group. So strategy group has only read access on this XYZ account record. Okay, XYZ record has been shared with Daniel again, as he is the member of that group now. But Daniel, being a member of this group, through this sharing rule he only gets read access to this account, and he already had read write access through manual sharing that was provided by Melissa. So the interviewer can ask you, after Daniel is added in this strategy group, will his access get reduced to read? Will he be able to edit or not? So this is classic use case of providing multiple accesses. One access is provided manually and the second access is provided through sharing rule. Okay, and then there is conflict whether Daniel will have read and write access or he will have only read access. So if interviewer is kind enough, he will provide you these two options to choose from. A is Daniel still maintains read-write access granted by Melissa to him for the XYZ account record, and B is Daniel will have only read access to the XYZ account record. And the correct answer is A. Daniel still maintains the read-write access. And the reason is, for the users with multiple access grants to a record, Salesforce uses the most permissive grant when determining record access. So the most permissive grant is read write over here. Okay, because the record was shared manually before Daniel was added to this strategy group, and the sharing rule only allowed read only access, but here most permissive access was read write over here. So read write will take precedence over read only, so the preference will be given to the most permissive access, and that will be applied to that user. The answer is Daniel still maintains the read write access on XYZ account. Okay, so the question was complex and confusing, but the one simple concept is going to simplify your whole answer. The most permissive access will always win. So keep in mind. Let's move to next question. The next scenario is, in Salesforce, an administrator grants a user broad permissions including view all data, modify all data. However, the user is still unable to access or modify certain fields on records. Can you explain why this might be happening? Very interesting question. So these kind of permissions, view all data, modify all data, are given to a delegated administrator who is handling some work on behalf of administrator. So he has been given these permissions, view all, modify all, And even after providing so much access, if user is still unable to access or modify certain field, then what might be the problem? To answer this question, you can say view all data, modify all data, and view all or modify all permissions don't override field level security. Users must still have field permissions to read and edit each field on an object. So this is very important concept. These four permissions do not give you open access to everything. You should still have field permissions in your underlying profile, or you should have that permission set to read or edit that particular field. Okay, so don't get confused with I have view all data, modify all data, so I can do anything in the org, anything in the system. It's not the case. If you want to modify certain fields, you need to have read or edit access of that particular field. Okay, this is very tricky question. You can easily get confused and diverted into things like he is not able to edit a certain field because there is a validation rule firing on and there is an error coming, so many irrelevant things. But the real answer is these two are different things, and these accesses do not override field level security. Okay, so interviewers ask these kind of questions which look simple, which look straightforward, but they are not. So be cautious. Let's move on to the next question. A group of marketing analysts need to update the information about customer purchasing trends on order records for the next 1 month. However, they should not have access to sensitive fields such as phone numbers and addresses. What solution would you recommend for the marketing analysts to ensure they have appropriate access? So to generalize the question, some random people need to have access to random thing for the next 1 month. Okay, so here comes a part of giving access for a particular period and for a particular time and then revoking that access. Okay, so this can be either manual or automatic process, but they are looking for a smarter answer. And another part over here is you have to keep other sensitive fields hidden from that user. You just cannot give them open access to everything for the next 1 month, even if you are revoking it automatically after that 1 month. Okay, so there are two parts. You have to keep sensitive fields hidden, and you have to give access to particular fields for the next 1 month. Now people over here first try to answer, I'll edit the existing profile and add field access. But that's completely wrong. You should not touch the existing profile because this is a temporary thing. So you should not touch existing profile and add field access in that. Then the second answer is create a new profile and then add field access and then assign this new profile to them. This is absolutely unnecessary. You should not create a new profile unnecessarily just to provide a temporary access. The best solution is to create a permission set. Obviously, we do create permission sets often, but here the main part is you should set an expiration date of 1 month. Okay. Now in this permission set, you will actually provide read-write access to all fields they require except sensitive fields. And then you will assign this permission set to marketing analysts. Okay. So the first thing is expiration date should be 1 month. Now permission sets allow you to do that. Before some years this wasn't available, but this feature is available now, so you can utilize it to revoke the access automatically after 1 month. So set an expiration date, and another thing is give read-write access to the fields they need except sensitive fields. Okay, so the sensitive fields will be hidden from them, and then you can assign this permission set to those users. Okay, so this is the right way to answer. Then the next question is, a user cannot access a record they should have access to. According to the sharing settings, they have appropriate role, profile permissions. What could be the cause? So this is quite open-ended question. Question is trying to simply say user has all appropriate access. He has right role, right profile, everything is there, but still user is not able to access a record that they should have access to. Okay, now when you start thinking about record level security, record level access, you first think about OWD, org wide defaults, then you think about role hierarchy to open up that access. Here the role is already right, and you even think manual sharing, but this is the wrong answer. This is the extreme way to share a particular record, and it is not recommended to do all the time, right? First of all, you need to debug and investigate why a record is not visible to user, and The way to do that is go to profile, open the profile and check all settings. And the underrated thing that people miss is record type assignment. So the answer is the record could be assigned to different record type that the user's profile does not have access to. And then at the end of this answer, you can just express the possibility that the record is owned by a user who has set a manual sharing rule that excludes certain users. Okay, so you can give both answers, but the first preference is different record type that user's profile does not have access to. Okay, this is the right answer. And mostly in real-time use cases, record type assignment is missing. That's it. This is a real common scenario that keeps happening with all admins and developers. Trust me. So the resolution, you can just say check the record type assignment and ensure the user's profile has access to it. And then at last, you can just review manual sharing rules if you have any, to ensure that they are not restricting users access. Okay, so this was the right answer of this question. So that was all about this video. I hope you all enjoyed these questions. They were quite interesting. I'll come up with more such videos. If you have any such questions, you can drop down in the comments. I'll find their answer. I'll explain you in simplified way. And if you want to connect with me and have a guidance on interview preparation or anything else related to Salesforce, drop me the query in that Google form. Thank you. Bye.